Hello. Don't worry, the webcam will be small in any second. This is my new tech tree, and just one thing: the tech points are not tier bound. I totally forgot that in the actual video. The tech points are not tier bound. Okay, let's go.
Emotions, gameplay, video editing.
What?
Gotcha!
Hello. I want to show you my tech tree idea, and I think it's a bit easier to follow now that I've made a more or less interactive version of it. What we see here is obviously a spreadsheet. The design, I'll leave design to other people. Now, what you can see is if you just have a look at the orange stuff, the lower number, 0 or 1, means unlocked or not unlocked, and the number above that would be the current tech point cost. So, for example, if I want to unlock the brown cubes, that would be 40 tech points. Now I have them. Now you see all the numbers change. Everything got cheaper. Yes, everything gets cheaper the moment you unlock stuff. Everything in the same line gets a lot cheaper, and everything above gets a little bit cheaper. So now, for example, I get my tier 1 thrusters for 28. Yay! Okay. Now the tier 1 doesn't really count anymore. Anyway, for 41 tech points, I can now get a new item. So, do I want to get SMG or plasma? I have the choice here. I think I want to get the new plasma first. And now you see already down to 32 the prices. I want to have a hovercraft, and I want to have thrusters. Now you see everything gets cheaper and cheaper. So now the blocks are only 21, and now for 17 I think I can afford some electrifieds. Everything gets cheaper the moment you unlock stuff. So now, for example, the new SMG. Actually, let's just get the old one for 13 here. You see now the new plasma is 49. So if I unlock everything, a new gun will cost somewhere between 40 and 50 points in every tier. So let's try that again. I unlock my plasma, I unlock my SMG. You see the points go down more and more. So only 16 now. I get my electroplates. And now we see the new SMG will cost 49. Lovely. Of course, you could change the base cost of the items, which is over here. Originally, it cost 150. And it goes on and on like that. Always the first tech is about 50, and then for every item you unlock, every other item gets, what is it? I'm working with 15% rather. 15% cheaper. Now again, I get my new SMG. 49. Maybe I want to switch to rail. I don't know. Let's switch to rails. I get my rails, and I get my new wheels, and my blocks, and my electroplates. And if you just do it like that and get item after item, actually now that I have my wheels already, the new railgun is only 60. Maybe I should get the railgun first and get tank tracks, wings, and hoppers later because I don't really want them yet. So I can go a little bit ahead, and it's not much of an effort. So yeah, I get the next railgun first, and well, I think it's more important for a railgun to have a strong gun. Of course, I can now unlock that stuff for 22. That's quite cheap now, really. If I wanted to go ahead and get the next railgun already, that would be 120 points. Instead of 120 points, I can unlock all the other stuff down here and still have points left. And in fact, it will actually make the railgun so much cheaper that I will have a net gain. That is the interesting part here. I have to spend less points in total if I unlock everything on my way up. I mean, I've got the choice. I could try to gun rush. It would just be rather stupid. Actually, let's have a look at that. What happens if I only unlock, that is tier 3 here right now. I unlocked everything in tier 3, yes, and now I just want to concentrate fully on railguns. Okay. 49 tech points for the new railgun. Great. 77 points for the new railgun. 150 points for the new railgun. Okay. Oop. Damn it. Can we reverse a change? Sorry for that. 150 points for the new railgun. 280 points for the new processor. And you can't do that, but everybody will very quickly realize that not only will your craft get weaker and weaker, the prices of that are ridiculous. Prices are huge. Of course, they would get a little bit cheaper because you have the one lower tech, the one lower tech. But you would have, everybody would see, you have to spend ages with a shitty bot to unlock the next higher gun. And people already see that, okay, if I get that gun, now I have to spend double that time again to get the next higher gun. I wouldn't call it gun rushing when you buy nothing else but save up to, would at the end be like 3,000. If you do nothing else but farming 3,000 tech points instead of just, getting stuff down here, that's not gun rushing. But if you want to do it that way, go ahead. Just not be smart. The whole system punishes people a little bit who try to go ahead and specialize too much. The more you leave out, the more points you have to spend in the higher tiers. It will reward people who unlock everything. In fact, the people who unlock everything on tier first and go to the next tier after will spend the lowest amount of points total. The more you try to rush a certain technology, the more you're punished, because the more total points you will have to spend. Quite smart, actually. What's my idea? So yeah, a gun rush isn't really a gun rush. You can focus. You can focus on a certain item and get it a little bit sooner. Yes, go ahead, do that. Focus on an item. Try to always have, I don't know, your gun one ahead. Or if you want to skip the uneven numbers of wheels and only have the even numbered wheels, I personally did that, I think. Yes, you can do that. So when you're in tier 5, first thing you do is unlock tier 6 wheels, still stay in tier 5 with those, and then you get your gun next, and then slowly, of course, you will get closer and closer to actually being in the next tier. And so then you save up a bit more, get more tech points, get more RP, and then when you feel like it, you build a great bot for the next tier and spend time in the next tier. You don't just get into a next tier and feel weak. One more thing here is the country club. Yes, I have a country club. The country club is the new Uber tech points. Those country club technologies here in blue, what they do is they are an empty tech. You don't really get an item. You can only unlock them with GC. So you have to, it's a country club, you have to pay. You unlock the country club tech with GC, and when you have the country club tech, of course, everything gets cheaper. Being a country club member helps you advancing through the tech tree, just like the Uber tech point used to help you as well. And of course, the sooner you do, the better it is. So if you start playing the game, it's definitely a good idea to just spend a lot. So yeah, that is country club membership. It decreases all of your tech points needed a little bit. Country club members just advance a bit faster through society. But it doesn't unlock a real tech. And of course, you can be country club member in tier 1 and in tier 2. Of course, the country club membership in tier 1 makes every tech cheaper, even higher up. So the more country club memberships you get, the better. But of course, you don't really need it. Enough people play the game without ever buying Uber tech points, and there will be enough people who advance through the tiers easily without being a country club member. But it would help. Now, the one other thing that you do not see right now is the RP cost. I haven't done that yet because it's just too hot today. Just like the tech point cost decreases for every tech you unlock, just like that, the RP cost for items will decrease as well. Why? I don't like the current situation of you earning twice as much RP in a higher tier. There's just too much motivation right now to get into the higher tier because you get twice as much RP. Time staying in the tier you are right now feels a bit wasted because right now in a one higher tier you would get more RP even if you perform worse. I don't like that huge increase in RP you get in a higher tier. So I would like it a lot if you only got like 20% more RP in a higher tier. Meaning, if you perform as well in the higher tier as you do in the current tier, you should move up because you get 20% more. However, if you perform worse, it would not be worth it. Why move up a tier where you get 20% more cash if you are 20% if you are 20% less powerful, or even less powerful, because then you will actually have less money. A bad bot in tier 8 shouldn't get more than a good bot in tier 7. The increase in a higher tier would only be 20%. It doesn't feel like a waste anymore to stay in your own tier a bit longer. However, that would mean that a tier 10 player wouldn't have that huge amount of more money compared to a tier 1 player. Right now, a tier 10 player has no problem at all building a few tier 7 crafts, because he has just that much more money. However, if you only increase the amount of money you get in each tier by 20%, that situation would change. Because of that, what I do is I just decrease the RP cost of an item the more stuff you have unlocked. So although the tier 10 player wouldn't earn that much more money compared to a tier 7 player, for a tier 10 player, the tier 7 blocks are a lot cheaper. So if I, as a tier 10 player, build a full tier 7 robot, I would pay less compared to someone in tier 7 building a tier 7 robot. Get it? So as a tier 10 player, I can still afford, if I want to, I can just build 5 tier 7 bots because for me they are rather cheap. A tier 7 person, on the other hand, would be able to do that. So just like now, a bot which is 2 tiers lower would be rather cheap to build. No problem at all. So that problem is solved as well. So yeah, the points I'm trying to make here is the reasons to stay in a tier are you can just get better first in your own tier before you move up. Your tech points are not at all wasted. Tech points are not wasted, you earn your stuff, and moving up is only useful if you're actually good, because RP is not doubled but only increased by 20%. Oh, and seal clubbing would go away a bit as well, because you don't have to be at the low spectrum. Right now, when you move in a higher tier, you are at the low end of the spectrum. You don't have to do that. You can just stay in the lower tier and then only move up the moment you feel confident enough that you already will be at the high end of the spectrum. Now, of course, there have to be a few reasons to get into a higher tier as well. Why don't you just stay in tier 3 forever? Well, there are a few reasons to get into a higher tier as well. In a higher tier, you can actually use new items. Of course, you can't use your tier 10 Tesla in tier 3. In higher tiers, there are more different technologies. So if you want to fly, you can't stay in tier 2. If you want to have a crawling railgunner, you can't do that in tier 5, and so on and so on. So if you want to use your new items, you have to get into a higher tier. You can have a bigger tank, of course, because of the CPU limit. You do get 20% more RP if you perform just as well. You get 20% more experience. Yep, that one is new. You get 20% more experience. It's only 20%, so you don't feel like you are forced to go into a higher tier. But as long as you perform better, you definitely should be in the next tier. And of course, going one tier higher sooner or later isn't really that expensive. If you spend enough time in tier 3, tier 4 items are cheap enough to just build a tier 4 tank. So why not go into a higher tier? A lot of the stuff I have here is solved as well by Mark's current plan. Getting rid of tier-bound tech points. My tech points are not tier-bound, he gets rid of tech points completely. However, there are a few things which I don't like. Now, let's talk about them very, very quickly here. Mark's plan gets rid of planning, choices, and tech tree strategy. You know, like I said here, trying to be one tech ahead, trying to focus a bit more on wheels and on guns, and maybe getting your hobbits last. You get rid of that planning. You still have the choice, do you always want to have the gun one ahead in my system? It would, of course, mean that you pay a small amount more tech points in total, but you can totally do it if you want to. Further, if you only have it bound by level, winning doesn't matter that much. It's not about winning, it would only be about raw CPU. Everything happens automatically, whether you win, whether you lose, the only thing that matters is how much CPU did you destroy. Classes, of course, would perform different as well. You could balance it out, increase level gained by railgunners by 20% because they destroy less CPU. Yes, you could do that, but then you have problems again with different hybrids and stuff. And it doesn't really reflect on how well you helped getting the win for the team. And you should always only be rewarded if you help your team to win. One thing you could do, for example, is use some very lame tactics. Like you build a bot with a high, I wrote it down, CPU times heal rate divided by armor. Have a look at items which have a lot of CPU and heal rate compared to their armor. Build your bot like that. Play double healer and just heal each other up. Yay, a lot of CPU. It rains levels. I don't like that that Mark's idea gets rid of the tech point at all. I actually like the old thing. Uber tech points would get lost. Of course, in my system, you can just convert Uber tech points to country club membership. Tech points are gone as well. Yeah, you could convert them to RP, but I like my 150,000 tech points. What happens to new items? If a new item is implemented, do I just automatically have it? So everybody who doesn't have the Megabot stuff, for example, will just automatically unlock it. Does that mean that a player right now only has to unlock Weird, and the moment the system is implemented, he automatically has Plasma and Hoppers and Megaplagues as well? What if somebody didn't unlock all the... Yeah, I know, it's only one-time change, but still. I think that when new stuff is implemented, I want to unlock it. I want to be like, oh, there's something new in the tech tree. Plonk, plonk, unlocking. It's fun. I like it. And one other thing is, what about the shop bots? In my system, of course, you would have those techs unlocked which you need to have the shop bot. So it's a big advantage because your whole tech tree will be a bit cheaper. That's nice. You have your techs unlocked for like the tier 7 blocks and tier 7 guns and tier 7 hoppers, and that affects the whole tree and everything gets a bit cheaper. So it is a huge advantage, but you still have to unlock your stuff. However, in Mark's system, you buy a shop bot and you just have unlocked everything immediately, and you have the level. That's just too strong. I don't like how strong that is. So yeah, I hope you get the idea of how my tree works. If you have any question, please tell me, because now I have the document. It's rather easy to use now that I made it. And yeah, please tell me what you think. Have a nice day.